Dave Portnoy, in a recent interview, talked about what was the final nail in the coffin for him voting for Donald Trump. I think it says a lot about what happened in this election that happened just less than a month ago. Here's what he said.
I mean, the thing with this election that really drove me nuts was the Biden, that they didn't have a primary. That was like the nail in the coffin for me.
That was it.
That really... Well, I don't know what it would have been. It would have been either way, because I knew Biden he wasn't mentally fit to be running. That was obvious, so they're lying about that. And then the fact they didn't have an open primary, to me, was brutal. So that really, and all the other issues. So they kind of added up. But that was the one that really bothered me the most, probably.
So I said this originally when Biden was cooed by Kamala Harris, but I actually think that this was the nail in the coffin for a lot of other people, because you just have to look at it for a second. I know a lot of people who watch this show are not Democrats. I'm not a Democrat, I'm a Republican. But just imagine for a second, if you are a Democrat watching, thank you for watching. But just imagine for a second that you are a Democrat. Imagine you're a Democrat and you are planning on voting for someone. It's not someone that you necessarily like all that much, Joe Biden. It's not someone that you would be happy if they were switched out, frankly, at this point. But then it comes to that switching out. You don't get any say in that switch out, so you don't get a vote on that. And then when they do the switching out, they put in a candidate that you don't really like that much, and you didn't even get a vote for it. Just think about what that would do to your psyche as a voter. Again, instead of you getting to vote, the leaders of your party just put someone in there, and they choose someone who objectively just sucks. And again, you don't even have to be in politics. You look at Kamala Harris, and you knew she sucked. There wasn't a single person who thought that she was just a great candidate. And again, if you put yourself in Democrat shoes, which I'm not, I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed at a result like that. And that's the equivalent, bring it back to Republicans. And if you want another example of what that would look like, that is the equivalent for Republicans of, say, and I'm talking this year, I'm not talking like 2012. Say this year, Mitt Romney was our presidential nominee. And then Mitt Romney suddenly gets ousted, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I don't really love Mitt Romney all that much. And they put in the RNC, we don't get a vote for it, they put in Dick Cheney. That is essentially the equivalence. I'd be pissed, and I think we'd all be pissed, and we'd have a reason to be pissed because we didn't get to vote at all, and they put in Dick Cheney. Like, if that was the case, I'd be very, very mad, and that's what happens to Democrats this year. And people, what they saw was how corrupt, this was so out in the open, and I think in a way that just hadn't happened all that much. I think a lot of the corruption in the Democrat Party had been in secret. And for those who didn't follow politics all that closely, they didn't see what was happening, but this was so out in the open. You could see how corrupt the Democrat elite was, and they did not show up to vote. The people saw it, they did not show up to vote. That was one of my biggest election predictions. It happened. Because turnout, it just wasn't that hot for Democrats. And the reason why is because the elite did not serve the actual people who voted them in. And here's the crazy part. This is the really crazy part. Democrat elites are not learning. Like, you would think that they'd see this and it'd be a wake-up call. And obviously I've talked in my other episodes about the mainstream media and how they've totally missed what happened in this election. But you'd think, like, internally that that some of the smarter Democrats would look at this and be like, this is a wake-up call for us. We can't do this forever. That's not what happened. Because just when you think Democrats might learn from a situation like this, you hear, they hear the Dave Portnoys, and you think, yeah, they're gonna change. They don't, because as everyone knows, this came out yesterday, Hunter Biden has been pardoned by Joe Biden. Which, by the way, I don't particularly care about this. I don't know why people care about this one so much, because I don't really care about Hunter Biden. He's just a dude. Do I like justice? Yes. Is it important to me? Yes. Do I care if Hunter Biden is in jail or walking around on the streets? I don't care that much. I don't. Do I think Joe Biden, as a father, would I want to pardon my son? Probably. I also would probably want to punish my son if he snorted crack out of hookers. You know what? I'm not going to say it. It's a family show. But here's the thing. I don't care about Hunter Biden that much, because really, why would I? But here's what I do care about. I care about the fact that Joe Biden is currently, right now, in this moment, our president, and he is openly showing his corruption by pardoning his son. Because this is the oldest story. I mean, this is the oldest story, the oldest rule in the book. It's like a Batman comic at this point, where politicians, what they do, the corrupt ones, is they bail out their friends and family. It is as old as time. It's happened forever. And you have, again, the story of the election, I believe, is that there's corruption in the Democrat elite, and they just put Kamala Harris in there. It's not democratic. And so again, you would think that Democrats are reeling from this loss and thinking, okay, we need to be more careful. And then you have Joe Biden do this. And it's so blatant. It's so open. I don't have Dave Portnoy's reaction to it, but if I did, I guess he'd say, what? What are you doing? Again, like, if there was an awesome Democrat out there, would I vote for them? Maybe I would. But no, not like this. And Dave Portnoy is, I don't think, any staunch conservative. I really speak, I think, I speak for him and many other Americans in saying, we want good politicians from any side. I'm conservative, I'm right-leaning, but if there was an awful Republican candidate and someone awesome from the liberal side, like say Tulsi Gabbard before she became a Republican, came out and ran, yeah, could I vote for her? Yes, but the Democrats, they make it impossible. They're so ridiculous. They do this stuff in broad daylight, and this is just another example of how the Democrat elite think they can just keep getting away with this stuff, this open elitism, and they just can't. They can't get away with it. So I'm happy that they're going to keep doing this stuff because I really do not think that they realize the negative consequences that this is going to have for them. But on my side or your side, this doesn't really have any negative consequences on our life. I mean, again, do I really care that Hunter Biden is pardoned? It's not going to impact my life at all. It's not going to impact your life at all. But what it will impact is Democrats' chances of being reelected because people see how corrupt this is over and over and over again. Because again, Democrats are just a big cartel at this point that will do anything to stay in power as well as keep their friends and family from, basically, they want to keep them safe from justice. Well, guys, if you don't have Daily Wire Plus and you're a conservative, I don't even know what you're doing, but I do have good news for you because it is Cyber Week right now. If you go to the link in my description below, you'll get 50% off at Daily Wire Plus. I'm partnered with them because I'm a staunch conservative. They're fantastic. They have fantastic content over there, from What is a Woman to Am I Racist to Jordan Peterson has tons of exclusive content. I love it. You're going to love it too. Again, you get 50% off, so take advantage of it this week with the link in my description below before it is too late. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.